I've always been an emotional person, so I didn't notice a particular shift after the surgery, apart from the immediate recovery period, where it's really full on. It's you're napping regularly throughout the day and you need to take it easy, and there's so many things you need to do to look after yourself. The challenges I found with recovery were things like when I went back to work, my brain wasn't firing as quickly as it usually did. I'd be in a meeting with stakeholders or a meeting with colleagues, and we'd be having a discussion about something challenging on a project I was working on, and I couldn't string the thoughts together. And it was all in my brain, but I couldn't just get it out there. And I found that hugely challenging. And that was 3-4 months post-op. I was having those challenges. And so then it became a bit of a confidence thing, because I felt that I wasn't expressing myself well, and people must think I'm stupid or think what's gone wrong, because normally she can handle herself really well and now she can't get a sentence out properly. And I beat myself up a lot about it, which I shouldn't have, like you shouldn't in hindsight. But I think one of the biggest factors was I should have been more open with people about what was going on, because whilst most of my immediate colleagues knew, obviously, I'd had heart surgery. I'd been off work for 2 months. I'd come back to work part-time. To everyone else, I appeared fine, so they thought I was fine, except I wasn't. And I should have been more open about the fact that I was still recovering and that I was still struggling a bit with some things, instead of just putting on a brave face and pushing on through and then falling apart each day when I got home.
I did hit a bit of a trough. You have the surgery, and your recovery is you can monitor your recovery. There's timelines, and I can drive again, I can swim again, I can run again. But there's no real timeline associated with your mental and emotional recovery. And there's a lot of that I was not prepared for. And, granted, at the time, I had no idea I was even going through it. I just thought I was hitting a low patch in my life. It took me a little while to get back to what I would call a good mental health space. And that was through, I think a bit of looking at yourself and looking at what makes you feel useful as a human. So there were things in my life that weren't going so well, a relationship, a job. Those are things that make me feel useful. So finding a new job, addressing the issues with the relationship. But then, if you can't exercise, find other ways, other things that might interest you. Engaging with the Heart Foundation helped, because I felt useful sharing my story so that other people could relate to my issues and my thoughts and my feelings. That was really important.
I haven't accepted the device yet. I still go between hate and, acceptance, because I hate the fact that I have it and that it's changed life and I have to have it. I hate that. But then at the same time, if I don't have it, the potential problem is that I'm not there anymore. I sought professional help after the first arrest itself. I went and spoke to someone just because I didn't know what to do with the thoughts in my head, and then thought I was fine and said, no, that's all good. And then all the shocks went off, and it was, when I got out of hospital for that so far last time, I've been seeing another psychologist as well, just to process all those thoughts.
I often ask, why me? I often ask, why did this happen to me? Why was I the one who had to go through this? I often think to myself, I shouldn't have had to go through this. But when I do feel down about it, and I do have those why me, existential moments, I try and be grateful for the things that my heart condition has brought me and what it has taught me. I've made a lot of really fulfilling relationships with people who don't necessarily have heart conditions, but who have allowed me to come to them for support and allowed me to share my story. And I found a lot of people who have found a lot of strength in my story and in the lessons that I've learnt, and that brings me a sense of sort of comfort and satisfaction.
For me, what's been a game changer is noticing how intertwined those three things are: physical, mental, emotional. I feel mentally strong the stronger I am physically, for example. I feel more in control when I'm in control of my body. So I eat well, I exercise, and all those things give me confidence to, take on the next battle.
I think to this day my heart condition makes me feel lonely. And I think that's probably not an experience that's uncommon to people with heart conditions, because I think everyone's heart condition is a bit different. The best solution I found is to surround myself with loved ones. Even if they don't really understand the loneliness, they can still be there as support people.
When things occur, we still feel guilty as parents. Although Alicia's takes control of her own life so well, doesn't look to be a victim about anything. So much so that I'd like her sometimes to use her shoulder at times, but she's very independent in that respect. But we still can't help feeling a bit guilty as things occur when they do occur.
What I'm finding in the last year or so is it's an ongoing process. It's not done and dusted, and it's not you recover from your heart surgery and that's it. I've found for me, I went through a period of nearly 10 years where I had multiple medical challenges, and knowing that I need to have further surgery down the track isn't something that hangs over my head, but I know that I'm going to have to deal with more stuff regardless. So, it's tricky, but I found talking about it and being open about it, either with medical professionals or with my family and friends, helps rather than bottling it up.